right, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ellison Cruz, and I'd like to welcome you to a little game called Bayonetta Origins.
Cereza and the Lost Demon.
While I'm sure most fans of the Bayonetta trilogy have some pretty strong opinions about this prequel that plays absolutely nothing like the series you know and love, I do honestly have to say that this game was an extremely pleasant surprise from what I was expecting out of this light action platformer with some Metroidvania elements, and it was actually a great time. The music and art style are outstanding, and the set pieces the series is known for are still present. That and the boss fights. Oof. I will say though, I'm not huge on the whole storytelling aspect, but by the end, I thought it was cute and fairly endearing. I just feel like maybe it might have outstayed its welcome a bit and isn't for anyone over the age of 7, let's be real. But with that being said, starting a new game, we have two choices here. And of course, we are going to be playing The Forbidden Tale, which is this game's version of hard mode, if you could even call it that. To unlock it, you will need to have beaten the game already, and seeing as how it's not terribly difficult to beat until the very end, it's still pretty rough to 100%, so bearing that in mind, let's go ahead and get started down the rabbit hole.
Long ago, there existed two clans, the Lumen Sages of Light and the Umbra Witches of Darkness. Together they controlled a mysterious power. The clans put in place strict laws to ensure that strife would never consume them. But a pair of star-crossed lovers broke this rule, and a child was born with the blood of both sage and witch. It was a beautiful baby girl. As punishment for their forbidden love, the pair were torn asunder. The girl's sage father was exiled to a far land, and her mother locked away in a solitary jail. The witch clan took in the young girl, but she grew up shunned as a pariah, cursed by the circumstance of her birth. Her one comfort was the nights she snuck into the village jail to visit her mother's cell. Her mother passed each grueling day barely able to so much as move in her cold cell. But when her daughter came to visit, the witch always showed her a loving smile. But even this small happiness eventually came to an end. On the night of the girl's 10th birthday, her mother was to be moved to a deeper cell, where even the faintest memory of daylight could not reach her. In desperation, the girl tried a daring rescue, but with only a child's strength, the attempt was in vain. More alone than ever before, the young girl clung to all she had left, a stuffed cat named Cheshire, which her mother had made for her long ago. Many moons have since passed. Turning her back on the village, the girl was taken in by an exiled witch who lived on the outskirts of town. Under her strict guidance, the girl continued to train in the ways of the dark arts. She was determined to be a powerful witch and one day save her mother. Her name was Cereza.
I've got to hurry. Something's there. This place.
A sorry child. Why don't you just leave? Stay away. She can't be trusted.
Why would you say that?
You don't belong here. She'll bring misfortune on us all.
Leave me alone! Mummy! Hey! What do you think you're doing? Cereza, you're almost out of time. This is your last chance. If you don't hurry, you may never see your mother again. John, I can't. Ugh, you big baby. Come on, I'll lead the way. Hurry! Use this! Wow, Sean, you're amazing! Hurry up, Cereza, we don't have all night. Sean, wait! I can't run that fast! We're almost there! Hurry up!
What do you think you're doing?
Oh no, they're onto us. Leave the guards to me. You hurry on ahead. Wait! John! I can't do this alone! Just a little longer. Hold on, Mummy. Mummy? What is this? Don't come any closer! Ah! No! Ah! Ah! you?
Cereza give you the power to save Mother.
Power?
Avalon Forest, the White Wolf guide you.
I'll go! I promise. That dream again. But the ending.
It was a dream Cereza knew by heart, but this time something had changed. Cereza decided to consult her friend Cheshire.
A strange boy appeared and told me something incredible. He said if I went to Avalon Forest, he'd give me a fantastic power. If we had that, rescuing Mummy would be a piece of cake. The Forbidden Forest.
The oft-repeated warning from Cereza's teacher rung in her ears. Avalon Forest is home to fairies, creatures who love to whisk away children. Stay away.
Cereza! Where are you, my dear?
Cereza's teacher Morgana was standing by the door, her frown discernible even from a distance.
Chapter 1: Trial of the Full Moon. And thusly, our adventure begins with our intrepid protagonist taking a refreshing nap in front of Morgana's house. Just ahead, we have ourselves a lantern which can be used to save your progress at any point, and eventually we will be seeking out sanctuaries that we will be able to fast travel from, but it'll be a while before we see any of that. And of course we have autosave, so that's nice. But let's go ahead and approach and begin the first of many chores that need to be
Chores
done.
neglected, and I find my apprentice enjoying her beauty sleep.
I'm sorry. I just closed my eyes for a second.
Cereza began making an excuse, but Morgana's scowl stopped her in her tracks.
Yes, ma'am. I'll get to them right away.
But despite her best intentions, Cereza's gaze drifted back towards Avalon Forest. This did not go unnoticed by Morgana.
If I've told you once, Cereza, you must never enter that forest. With your current abilities, you would soon become a snack for one of the fairies who live there.
Yes, Morgana. I know.
Well then, stop your dreaming and finish those chores before moonrise, young lady.
All right. Water from the well. Coming right up.
A simple yes will suffice, Cereza. Off you go.
Despite her strict exterior, Cereza had grown attached to her teacher. Morgana had also been cast out of the village. She understood Cereza's pain, and her stern treatment came from a place of love.
All right, first order of business is to draw water at the Eastern Well. A very exclusive activity saved only for the beginning of the game. You never have to do this again, so enjoy it.
Cereza often reminded herself that these chores were all part of her training. Eager to please her master, she hurried off towards the well.
Absolutely, and you know, nothing builds character better for a witch than, you know, some hard manual labor. You can get some flavor text just by looking around occasionally, but it's usually pretty forgettable and doesn't really add a lot of depth to the lore of the game.
What's this?
Yeah, very similar taste in, you know, witchy things. So to interact with things, all we have to do is go up to something and press L, and that is a button you're going to be using pretty often, so let's go and pull this up. Thankfully, this mechanism is incredibly sophisticated and allows us to just get fresh water, no problem. Complete with a fade to black for us to just go ahead and pick it up and be on our merry way. There we go. Something you very rarely have to do in this game.
Fetching a pail of water. It may seem like a simple chore, but it requires a fine sense of control, making it perfect for Umbran training.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the wax on, wax off lesson here, Madame Morgana, or should I say, Madame Miyagi. Yep, her back definitely isn't thrown out after that.
After laying eyes on the full bucket, Morgana gave a small nod of approval.
Good. Now collect the herbs from the garden.
Oh.
At the thought of herbs, Cereza could not help but make a face. This is one job she wished could be forever stricken from her regimen.
Do we have a problem?
No, ma'am.
Trying not to think about the task awaiting her, Cereza headed towards the herb garden. The herbs in Morgana's garden were not your common basil or thyme. She grew infernal plants with an absolutely foul stench. They typically burrowed to avoid sunlight, but a little bit of magic made them pop right up.
You know, generally, I would say that picking herbs doesn't usually give me much pause, but when the notion of, I don't know, infernal plants comes into play, then I become a bit of a skeptic, so I can definitely see where Cereza is coming from, but here we have it, the world's sorriest looking herb garden. But with that comes the advent of the Witch Pulse, a fundamental Umbran art that utilizes dance to imbue its targets with magic, which means that yes, you are going to be playing a timing-based minigame that you need to use the left stick for, but it's pretty self-explanatory and easy enough to get into once you play. So if you're playing on normal mode, you definitely want to automate this, if not only to save some time. But with that,
Dinner time! One helping of magic coming right up.
there we go. Beautiful.
Hurry on out!
Eventually these do get a bit more complicated, but right now they're really not that bad. Just make sure you line it up with the crescent,
Just a bit more.
and you'll be fine. Now,
There we go!
upon blooming this final one. Ooh. Alright, well, we now have our main combative magic available to us, and that's to bind an enemy with our magic. This does use your spell gauge,
No one told me they could do this! I've got to catch it quick!
but no timing-based minigame to worry about, so.
Yes! I did it!
Cereza was pleasantly surprised. She usually managed to make a mess with even this rudimentary magic.
I can't wait to see the look on Morgana's face.
Cereza hummed a happy tune while picking the herbs. As she bent down, she noticed a pretty flower growing amongst the weeds.
Those flowers would really bring out the colour in Morgana's eyes.
Oh, that's cute. She picked a couple of violets for her teacher. It's adorable, but again,
Ugh, I wouldn't mind if it weren't for the smell.
yeah, this thing also looks pretty heavy and probably one of the last times you're ever going to need to carry anything, interestingly enough. But let's bring it on over, our bountiful harvest that we have summoned from the ground with our dark witch arts. Mother would be proud.
Cereza proudly gave the basket to Morgana. It was full to bursting.
How about that, Morgana? Quite the harvest, wouldn't you say? I also picked these violets. They're for you. I thought you might like them.
Atop the herbs lay a small wreath. Morgana glanced down at it. Her expression unchanged, she spoke to Cereza in her usual tone.
Do not expect praise for this sort of perfunctory performance. Oh, and Cereza, your hair today seems to have lost its sheen. Do not tell me that in addition to your outdoor tasks, you're also neglecting your hair.
No, ma'am. It's next on my list.
Remember, Cereza, hair is the most versatile tool of an Umbra witch. It can be shaped into our armor, weapons, and even used as a medium for summoning infernal demons. As blood flows through veins, magic flows through a witch's hair. Care for it as you would your most precious tool, and defend it as you would your very heart.
Understood. I'll make sure to finish up before training starts tonight.
Good. Now get back to your chores. The shadows grew long. The moon will soon rise.
With this, Morgana turned and walked back towards the house.
Yes, ma'am.
At times, Morgana's cold treatment got Cereza down. But she knew that Morgana cared for her and only wanted what was best for her. Making a quick recovery, Cereza resolved to finish her remaining chores in record time.
Almost time for today's training. I'd better hurry, or I'm in for another lecture.
God forbid we're subjected to another one of those. Yeah, something tells me Morgana probably has more pressing matters at hand, in all honesty, starting with this summoning circle.
With the household chores complete, it was time for Cereza's daily training in the dark arts. Today, she was finally going to get a chance to attempt a spell she had been practicing for weeks, summoning an infernal demon.
For today's training, I will give you a little help.
Before even learning what it did, Cereza was captivated by the intricate brace.
This is a tool for those who have yet to master the flow of magic. Furthermore, we train under the full moon of the bisextile night, when the dark energy we Umbra harness is at its zenith. Are you listening, young lady? You seem determined today. Perhaps I should let you nap more often.
Yes, ma'am.
Cereza's spirits were high. She was determined to succeed.
Bataiva Tozu!
Step by step, Cereza flawlessly performed the summoning dance. Until... This looked like trouble. Unless bound by hair, there would be no way to control the demon. The demon turned to ash mere inches from Cereza. Without a proper medium, demons will soon die in our world.
We are finished for today.
Let me try again. Please.
Morgana turned and walked away, ignoring her pupil's desperate plea.
What kind of witch fears her own summoned familiar? I was foolish to think you were ready for this training.
Morgana told Cereza to put away the magic brace before heading back to the house. Long after Morgana was gone, Cereza sat moping in the garden. Out of habit, she shared her troubles with Cheshire.
Forget returning to the village and saving Mummy. At this rate, I'll never even become a witch.
All of a sudden, the words from the boy in her dream echoed in her ears.
Cereza, give you the power to save Mother. Avalon Forest, the White Wolf guide you.
Avalon Forest.
Cereza's eyes wandered back to the forest. Morgana's repeated warnings left little room for ambiguity. And yet...
Morgana is always dangerous this and stay away that. How could a dank old forest be that scary a place anyway?
Adults do often exaggerate to keep kids in their place. This thought got Cereza's blood boiling. Grievances started bubbling up.
Nothing I do is ever good enough for her. Did you see those herbs? Flawless!
As she blew off steam to Cheshire, she noticed Morgana's brace shining in the moonlight.
What are you saying, Cheshire? Take the brace and sneak into the forest? Morgana would give us a right smack on the bottom.
Although, with the moon shining brightly, it was the ideal chance for a little surreptitious forest excursion.
I mean, if I just had another chance to get the hang of it, I could have gotten that demon totally under wraps.
With a demon by her side, eviscerating a fairy or two would be child's play.
That's it! I'm going to that forest! And when I come back with that fantastic power, Morgana will take back everything she said about me not being ready. Let's go, Cheshire. Next stop, Avalon!
Atta girl, Cereza, that is the spirit. Checking this candle, we can float a little wish, but Avalon Forest is indeed where our dreams are going to come true. That is, if the rumors are to be believed or not. I suppose we'll see once we head inside through this dark, lonely, ominous path.
Cereza shivered at the thought of what lay ahead. But curiosity got the better of her.
Can you really blame her for trying, though? I mean, her first summoning circle ended up being a resounding disaster, according to Morgana. But all she wants to do is become a strong witch so that she can save her mother from the village. I mean, she's got to have some props for that.
Let's go, Cheshire.
But she is young and naive and has no idea what she's stepping into. My name is Ellison Cruz. Thank you so much for watching. It's time for Cereza to step into the forest and accept her fate.
And so Cereza threw caution and her teacher's warnings to the wind and set out towards Avalon Forest. Little did she know that what lay waiting in those dark woods would change her fate forever.